Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, for those who don't know, and today we're going to play a modern league with, like, this ridiculous, expensive Temur mid-range pile. There's a small snow theme in that you've got Astrolabes, Quattles, Snow Basics, Scred. Um, there's also a reasonable amount of basic lands, which enables you to play Blood Moon in your three-colour Cryptic Command deck, which is totally reasonable, of course. Um, yeah, you have cheap interactions. So these are the counter spells. These are the removal spells. Got good creatures and good planeswalkers. So it is just a pile of really, really good cards in these colours. There's not a lot more to say than that. So we're going to jump in and play a league. Hopefully we can get a positive result. And you never know. With Modern being shaken up and sort of renewed, there's a chance that it will turn out this is just one of the best things you can be doing. I mean, the card quality's high, isn't it? It's just a case of whether things line up well, I suppose. Cool, we got an opponent. We've got a really nice opener. Oh, looks like Death Shadow. I can't, or maybe a weird start from Living End. Haven't seen Living End for a little while. Although, to keep a zero lander, I'm more inclined to think that's Living End than Death Shadow. What's better? Probably basic Island, and then get Stomping Ground with the Misty. Thanks to having the next land sewn up, I can fairly comfortably just fetch a basic. Yeah, this is definitely Death Shadow. Well, given that they're struggling, I think we just have to put the pedal to the metal, as it were, and try and kill them. They're going to clean up now. Hopefully they'll discard a new card type. That would be fun. They did not. But still, things are great. Everything's good. I expect end of turn I'll bolt them and play a Coatl and then try and close the game out as fast as possible. Oh, that's a rubbish first land. Poor opponent. Although they definitely shouldn't have kept their hand. And that's coming from me. The undisputed champion of loose keeps. Cool. I just realised if I just run out my Snapcaster naked at the end of their turn, I would have had lethal, but that's fine. There, this game has been such a non-event. It's like you could win with a wet towel. I don't know why opponents playing out. Maybe they think they can get black mana and kill the Goyf. Yep. No surprises there. So, versus Death Shadow, I guess I want not very much. Maybe more cheaper interaction. Board out the Cryptics because they're just so freaking bad if they get stubbed. Maybe I want Scavenging Ooze. Can see all of that. That makes some sense to me. Maybe I want Reveler as well to refuel. Sinkhole kills the fish. Is Jace bad for the same reason that Cryptic is bad? Not really, because bouncing Gurmags is good. And I don't know. Goyfs are probably bad. They die to push. Spell Snare is pretty bad against them. Yeah, we'll submit like this and just see how we get on. This hand looks more than acceptable to me. It looks pretty great. Are we getting Thought Seized? Is usually the primary question on turn 1 against Death Shadow. Looks like we're not. Serum Visions. Let's see how they scry. 2 cards on the bottom. Perfect. I think I'm going to get my Astrolabe down. There was some consideration for sure to just holding up Spell Pierce, but I think the perfect scenario for me is that I can curve something like Quattle into this freshly drawn Blood Moon. Okay, that's fine. They almost certainly have to take Blood Moon, which, whilst it is a bit of a trump card in the matchup, it's not like that big a part of our game plan. Also, our hand is so good at this point that without any one of these cards, it's still good. That's very comforting. Took the Coatl, so they've got a creature. Nope. Or at least not yet. They must be taking Blood Moon now. They're so vulnerable to it with the way their whole mana base is. They have like typically 1 island and 1 swamp. Wow. No fear, no respect. Let's see what we draw. Bedlam Reveler. Pretty cool, but not really currently useful. Sinkhole is probably good. I think I want pretty much all of this. Although Ren's not great. We haven't got any fetches to use. But an extra basic island is pretty great. Sinkhole's good because it lets us kill a fish at some point. Be interesting to see if they have an answer to the Blood Moon. So now what I think I need to do is literally nothing. And then in response to them cracking the Tarn, I have to kill the Death Shadow. Which is a bit annoying because it removes my whole graveyard, so it makes my Reveler suck. But I can probably use the Jace to either shuffle the Reveler away or Stubbs. Okay. So be it. Yeah, I can probably use the Jace to shuffle it away or find a you know, to start finding more instants and sorceries to rebuild. That was bit a bit of a blowout from our perspective there. It's fairly obvious that they have free reign on this turn to do whatever, so I'm not going to bluff anything. What I don't want to see is another big threat. So this looks like a Gurmag. Yeah. This is getting difficult now because Jace bouncing 1 is only... it's very temporary. If it resolves, of course. It might not resolve. Okay. There we go. So they just drew infinite stubborn denials, and we got beaten, and that is fine, I guess. I think I do need Tarmogoyfs to block. They're going to be able to block Gurmags a lot of the time because of how many different card types us and the opponent are both playing. Yeah, Reveler felt too clunky there. We'll just switch those out. I would love to play first. And I would love to keep this great hand. That's a slightly irritating draw, just because we're now very weak to a Thoughtseize, but whatever. That's good for our Tarmogoyfs. Who did they target? They targeted themselves, which implies they either want more or less mana usually. Usually you're using that to regulate when you're just generically looking for lands or non-lands. If I were them, I'd take the Coatl here, but either's fine. I don't see a tremendous amount to be gained by playing the Coatl then, but I'd already decided to fetch first, so that was the reason for this sudden change of heart. I'll play the Coatl at the end of their turn. They can't counter it because the only counter they usually play is Stubbs, and this might protect it from something I haven't thought about, like Liliana the Last Hope or something. Fish. Yeah, they have the fish. We've got Jace. That's grand. That's a good answer to a Gurmag when they've just delved their whole graveyard away. We like that. Oh, that's helpful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Easy. Boom, boom. Dead. These are pretty great. Shame we didn't get to immediately draw into the spell pierce, sorry, but everything's going really well. Couldn't really have asked for better draw steps since we got that disappointing island. It's fine. We lose Snap, but the top of our deck is great. We've got a Jace. I don't even think I'm really going to run out Jace, because next turn I can protect it. I have to assume they've got Stubborn Denials. They would have all 4 in this matchup. So yeah, this should make me slightly safer. It's not often you get to kill a Gurmag Angler with a Scred. That's why they're in the deck, is that they are, although they can't hit players, they are a bit bigger than bolts. It's fine. I wonder what else is coming. They seem to be doing, maybe they can play a Gurmag and still have 1 mana up. Maybe they're doing that. Either way, it looks like we're not attacking with the Quackle next turn, doesn't it? Go on, shock yourself against my bolt deck. Oh, Snappy. No, Fish. Fish with 1 stubs up. This is great. So we can, pardon me, we can play Jace, we can Spell Pierce the stubs, and then we can unsummon the Angler and have Quackle to protect Jace. Basically. Which is pretty much the dream. Your turn. This seems advantageous to me. Although they do have a bit of burn, don't they? They have like maybe 1 or 2 K commands and maybe 1 or 2 bolts, so they might be able to just kill my Jace, and that would be upsetting. But that's fine. Attacking Jace. Yeah, I'm definitely blocking. That went better than I expected. Oh, they're just fueling Delve so they can recast their Fish. Yeah, this doesn't seem like a winning proposition if you ask me. I just kind of need 1 turn of reprieve. Although with them at 6, it's not going to be that hard to kill them. We can bolt them and then find either another bolt or a Snapcaster. I imagine they have a Watery Grave, but they... Did they just fail to find? This is great. This is tremendous. So we're holding the Tarn so we can shuffle away bad cards with the Brainstorm. Or we can kill them. Guess we try to kill them first. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Did you die? Looks like it. Woo! Okay. Well, $1 Million Temur is flexing its muscles. I think that whole game came down to waiting a turn on the Jace. I'm quite pleased with how that turned out. I think had I walked the Jace into like a Stubbs that they pretty much scripted, it would have been quite tragic. We had the local Theros Beyond Death pre-release this weekend. I only played in one, which was the Sunday. They do 3 where I am. I assume it's similar in lots of shops. Awesome. Really like the set. Really fun games. Really cool bombs. Like, close to unbeatable bombs in Limited. Yeah, generally a positive review from most of my friends. I think a lot of people liked it. So if you haven't gotten a chance to play Theros Limited yet, you definitely should. It's really good. And yeah, there's a good amount of. It feels quite a push limited set. Like the card quality is super high, and even the commons and stuff. It's good. There's a load of commons that are above limited resources vanilla test, if you're familiar with this, and have other stuff as well. Usually like escape or something. It's easy to undervalue how good escape is. Look at this perfect hand. This deck is amazing. I'm so smug. This deck is so good. My favourite deck that isn't a deck, assuming you count Kiki Chord as a deck, because that's my actual favourite deck that isn't a deck. But yeah, my favourite deck that doesn't really exist at all, that I've been trying to play for years, is like just various Temur toolbox decks, usually centred around Traverse the Ulvenwald to find things like 1 Reclamation Sage and 1 Bedlam Reveler and stuff. I think we can safely assume this is humans, yeah. Okay. So, Spell Snare's looking really bad. I guess I just have to play the Coatl. Oh, please attack. You absolute legend. This is so much better than if they'd just not attacked from our perspective, because it looks like they haven't got a land. Oh, they have, okay. Thalia, okay. Bit annoying. It makes this this handful of Serum Visions particularly embarrassing, doesn't it? I'm just going to play one. I probably shouldn't have played the land first. Spell Pierce is also embarrassing, but we are drawing a lot of cards, and we'll eventually get to a position where we can get rid of turds. Kite Sail. Fine. The only good card I have is on top of my deck. The annoying thing is that Coatl does not do a good job of blocking Thalia. That much is very true. I've forgotten how bad Humans is against Blood Moon. Absolutely destroy them with Blood Moon. I wonder if they'll name, like, Spirit. They named Human as well. That's annoying, because that one will save them in the face of a Blood Moon. I guess I do this now in case I draw Tarmogoyf. Which I didn't. not drawing Tarmogoyf is it bothers me at at all stages of my life. Like if I'm doing some cooking or some cleaning and I just don't draw a Tarmogoyf, it makes me sad. If I'm junding, it makes me particularly sad. Basically, I always want to draw Tarmogoyfs. There's another freebooter to take a card from my awful hand. You got it. Mana Leak, I guess, is the most flexible. Or Spell Pierce for their Aether Vials that they don't care about anymore. Spell Snare because it hits Phantasmal Image, I guess. That's a bad draw. We're fine. We're fine. We're like a Ren and 6 away from running away with this game. I just need to stay hunkered down behind my snake thing. It's a good snake. Yeah, I'm assuming I'm getting just threed. Yeah, that's fine too. I would like a Jace the Mind Sculptor, please. Not complaining about that. That is a above average draw step. Because it is a hard removal for Thalia, assuming they don't have a Reflector Mage. They could certainly have a Reflector Mage. That looks like a Reflector Mage to me. I somehow suspect it might be the Goyf and not the Snake. Yeah. So it looks like I'm going to take 3 more. And again, that is fine. Not too upset about this. I'm a bit upset about not being able to recast the Goyf. Give me a spell. That's a spell. It costs 1 extra. It's fine. We haven't made a land drop this turn. Perfect. Just going to pass. I think we've now got all the tools we need to win, and I just need to use them correctly. Although, with that said, Mantis Rider off the top still dicks me. Potentially. This looks an awful lot like a Mantis Rider. Okay. I'll do it now. I assume now they name Bolt, as they've just seen me cast one in response and they can assume I'm relying on them. Maybe Cryptic? Cryptic's a good name, or Snapcaster Mage. Goyf, okay. Doesn't upset me too much. Ah, Phantasmal Image. Okay, what would that name? Reflector Mage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not dead. Jace is dead though. Oh, it's just all at me. Well, that's fine. I don't think I mind that at all. So I can kill the Hierarch with Ren and have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and have Cryptic. I can Bounce this just to kill it. That seems reasonable. Yeah, I think I'm going to spend this turn trying to manage shit with Cryptic Command. It resolves, and then I go tap draw. So they take my Wren because they have to, which is fine. We're not too upset about that, to say the least. The only thing that's currently concerning me is my life total, but we've got every chance. Removal is good, obviously. Okay. So I have... Maybe I've blown this? They have 5 lethal threats. I have 5 answers, but I'm 1 mana short. Maybe I had to use... No, I couldn't use Jace any other way. That doesn't kill anything. I think I was wrong not to Wren. I should have used Wren to kill the Reflector Mage instead of the Noble, maybe. Yeah, I think I'm just dead, but we'll see. Oh, I'm just not allowed to cast it. That's super sad. Yeah, I think I've lost this game. And it might have been their decision to let Jace live and put me to 1 that wins them the game. That's fine. I just need to make sure they do attack with everything to confirm that I've lost. Yeah, so if they're sending everything, then we do lose. But still, we have relevant tools. I think anger is probably more than good enough, and maybe these two. Although feed the clan might not be necessary. And then what's bad? Counter spells in general. So yeah, I guess I do play feed the clan then, because we're a playable short. So we just board into like Blue Jund. Although we're not that far off Blue Jund anyway. I think with all these looks at finding the extra land, I can reasonably keep this otherwise sketchy hand. Easy. That's game. That's not game. We need to find a second red source. Although blood mooning them out of the game is a real possibility, which is nice. Yep. So now, hopefully... Oh, they've got a basic. What the fuck? That's illegal. Okay, I'm going to take my Blood Moon and I'm going to sulk. They took my Blood Moon and I'm going to sulk. Okay. It's fine, we've got 4/5s for days. And they've got a slowish start. This is where they go, Mantis Rider, take 4, and I'm sad. Additional freebooter, it seems. I guess they take anger. Makes sense. And they attack. Oh, they don't appear to have a land though, which is good. Snap Scred is appealing. I'm going to Snap Scred the one with Blood Moon under, I guess. Or do I just apply tons more pressure? Yeah, I mean, we're winning the race at the moment. So if I go Snap on top, Stomping Ground on top of that. I wonder what's going on with the software. Top. Please just work. Have I got disconnected? One moment, let me see if I can use the internet. Yeah, internet's fine. Top. What's your problem? Sorry about this. Modo appears to have bugged out. Let me come back to you in a minute. Okay, sorry about that, guys. We are back up and running. The computer was bugging out for whatever reason for a few minutes. Opponent has cunningly sniffed out my coatl. I'm still going to do it. I'm going to Snap Scred, I guess, on the Noble Hierarch now. That makes some sense to me. Did just take an instant out the yard, which is rather sad. We'll be fine. Yep. Okay, I'm up for that. Pretty good. So I'm playing this out because then we've got lethal next turn, assuming I get to keep the cryptic in my hand. Go ahead. I suppose it's not necessarily lethal, is it? Because they might violin a Thalia or something and have a good blocker. Maybe I got a bit carried away there. Because if they block any one of my ground creatures, it's definitely not lethal. We're still really far ahead. It should be hard to fuck up from here. Reflector Mage or Goyf would be the only thing I can think of. They certainly don't want to Reflector Mage any of these others, do they? But that's still fine. The only annoying thing about that is that I'm about to have a handful of Tarmogoyfs. Because I've topped one. But it's all good. This means we've got to be a bit patient. Maybe I should have chipped in for one with the Quattle, I'm not sure. I quite like the fact that we're not taking any damage though. I'm even thinking about bouncing the Vial and drawing a card. Do they just not put something in? That seems like a misclick. Oh dear. Poor opponent. Mantis Rider. Okay. Now I have to think a little bit about getting attacked, I guess. Yeah, fine, I'll trade. Gladly trade my 2 for your 3 when mine's also drawn a card. Deal. So the other option is I can bounce I could bounce their Reflector Mage and threaten quite a lot of damage, or I could bounce their Aether Vial. Yeah. I'm going to bounce the Vial and draw. That's fairly brutal. It's like a triple Stone Rain. A bolt would be a fantastic draw because it lets us kill the Reflector Mage and make a reasonable. There we go. Make a reasonable attack. I'm going to just hold up Quattle. They sack the land, I assume. Yeah. So we know there's a Reflector Mage in their hand, but I highly doubt they want to Reflector Mage a Snapcaster with a bolt in the yard. That's fine. Should be too late in the game for that to matter. Thalia's Lieutenant is also fine. I'm not going to block, so I'll take 2. Okay, that's a decent draw. Also a good draw. They don't really have mana now. They've still got their noble hierarch, I suppose, and a basic island, so it's not as bad. But yeah, I pretty badly want a bolt. Bolt would be really good. Obviously, it wins the game. Yeah, we can gain 10 at any point we need to. We've got 2 more big creatures. Tarmogoyf is lethal on its own, so it's just threatening the abyss. Although, interesting. I wonder if I wonder if they've got the stones to go for the 2 snaps. Doesn't look like it. That would be a bold play. Huh? Oh, okay. Can't attack. So their last card is a Reflector Mage, I think. And they can reflect 1 Goyf, that's the best they can do. Oh no, I didn't bounce the Reflector Mage, did I? I killed it. I'm confusing myself. Okay. Make the obvious attack. See how they reply. They might vial something in, you never know. Athalia's Lieutenant would be irritating. A Deputy is also irritating. We just need any removal spell, including a Ren and 6 or a Jace. Blood Moon's doing a bit of work now. Give me a card with red in it. Oh, that's pretty good. So we can try to kill them 2 ways. We can try to attack for lethal and then snap bolt them if the attack fails. Okay, so now I'm just going to snap bolt. Let's move this out of the way so we can see. Bolt. Bolt you right in the face. There we go. We got 1. So that was game 2, wasn't it? So now we need to win game 3. I've no intention of changing the sideboarding. I think that looked fine. I guess Feed the Clan is maybe a touch mopey, but whatever. Man, I really just want a turn 2 Ren and 6 and like ping a Noble. That's all I want. Our Planeswalkers have been pretty shy today, considering we've got 5 of the damn things. I feel like I made a meal of that game. I feel like if I hadn't spunked my Cryptic on bouncing the Aether Vial, we probably would have got lethal a lot earlier. But I like denying mana. It's fun. Opponents don't deserve mana. Sorry about that. Just I have to fit in the recording because I'm self-employed. I have to fit in the recording the videos when I get windows in my work, but I'm still technically at work right now. Oh, this hand. It's a bit slow. But it's got an Anger of the Gods. And they don't always have infinite freebooters. But it does feel like it. This almost certainly has to be a Steam Vents. So I think I'm going to just fetch it at the end of my turn tap, at the end of their turn tapped. Please don't freeboot me. Oh, that's rogue. I don't know what's going on over there. Okay. These are all pretty great. I'm happy with all those. I'm going to debate how to sequence things in terms of trying to get more than one creature with the Anger. Yep. I don't think we need to get 5 to win the game on the spot. I think 1 is fine. Or 2 is fine, rather. Just going to play the Astrolabe for now and flash in Coatl. Yeah, this isn't really a surprise. Oh, I have to be conscious now of them growing too large for Anger. Although I'll try to trade my Coatl for the champion if they attack. Kumbal is fine. So, assuming they attack, I would try to make a trade. Yeah. Okay, so this Anger is looking absolutely amazing, other than that being a 5/5. So if I get to trade off, I'm a happy boy. Okay, just take it. So the downside is that I'm at a virtual 8. And if they've got Mantis Riders or something, I'm in a lot of trouble. But other than that, the game feels safe-ish. That's fine. I'm at a virtual 6 though, which is, well, an actual 6 you might say. Which is a bit scary. We're fine, we've got Cryptics and Quattles and stuff. Do I shock? I probably do. So, I need to be conscious of things like Mantis Rider plus Noble Hierarch being lethal. It's fairly obvious I've got Quattles going on as well. Yep. So, bolt this. Not yet. It's still only going to be a 3/3. My thinking was I might need to bolt it, but actually I think I need bolt to kill a deputy of detention if they try to detain my coatls. Ren is superb. So they can reflect mage 1. The other one is already being cast, so I can bolt here before it grows. Let the stack all resolve. That goes back to my hand. That one comes into play, draws me a card. I block. And we're kind of okay. Other than the fact that we don't have enough removal. Oh, never mind. Do this. Do this. Play this. I guess I have to just try to I need to gain some life. I need to draw my Feed the Clan is what I need. But we've got 2 cryptics, so we're fairly safe. I've also got 4 minutes on my clock, I just realised, which is not enough time. Fine. Let's get a Goif or something. No, okay. C'est la vie. Once we get... Oh, Christ, what have they got? It's alright, we've got Cryptic, but it's getting dicey. We're falling to 1. Yeah. Drawing a card, which is fine. Oh, I have to do this. Go to 1, tap and draw. Snap's great. Snap is wonderful. Thalia, okay. I maybe should have left Anger in the graveyard. But this is fine. Like, no big deal. So the intention obviously is to use the Coatl to trade for the Reflector Mage and then slowly try and kill them with the Snap. Plus you've got a Cryptic, which is rather comforting. Yeah, okay. Shouldn't matter. They have no instance of sorcery. Sorry. I was confusing myself then. So they attack. We do this. Draw a card. Block. Untap. Kill that. Do this. So many triggers. Ah, I'm struggling to do it fast enough. Need to try and get them dead. What I really need is a Tarmogoyf. Jesus Christ, I'm getting sketched out. Okay. Fucking hell. I don't think I can play fast enough. There's a Goyf, that's better. Just start trying to kill them. Go. Fuck me. This is stressing me out. And it's not like I can ever drop my shields because I'm at 1, so I can't play sloppy. Blood Moon them. Scavenging Ooze. Attack. Ping. Make a 2-1 and press F6. Whatever. We've got 2-turn clock. Should have about 10 seconds left if we win. Yeah, doesn't matter. They conceded. We got them. It just took a fucking while. Ugh. That was weirdly stressful, man. I'm like, ugh. Nothing worse than having to like rush to finish a round, is there? Ugh. I don't even think I played that very slowly. You may disagree, of course, but I can't think of any incidents where I tanked for more than a few seconds. Cool. Let's see what we're paired with. I've had fun games so far. Both of them have been really interesting. Except for, like, game 1 of Death Shadow where the guy just did nothing. Or girl. The opponent. Sorry. Always shouldn't assume genders. Not in 2019. 2020, jeez. That was a botched little paragraph, wasn't it? Yeah, fine. Unless the removal is bad, in which case, not fine. Like, imagine this against blue-white control. Oh, that was predictable. It's fine. We might get them with a random Blood Moon. They might not see it coming. It could be blue-white, or it could be some kind of an Esper thing. This blue-white blade. Okay, well, at least the removal's better than I thought. Feast and Famine. Should probably have done that on their upkeep because of Force of Negation, but whatever. I'm going for it, and if they can't answer it, we win. But actually, that's not even necessarily true. Queller. That's an interesting one, which I didn't particularly expect, but we have good answers to. I'm operating under the assumption that... Oh, they do just have a ton of basics. I was going to say their mana base is slightly worse than ours, but, you know, under a Blood Moon, but that might not be true. Okay. Have a Tarmogoyf, please. I can. I'm going to try and scred their Queller at some point during this turn cycle, but it doesn't really matter when. It might now matter when. Scred. Oopsie. Have to cast things. So this is going to pinch their mana a bit, but not too much. Now I just hold up mana. I've got like a really good reactive hand and a board, and there's no point in dropping shields for no reason. Yeah, that can resolve. They fail to find, so the Batterskull is in their hand. Go for Scred because Bolt can hit face. Come on. What's the interface as being a dick? So their hand contains a Batterskull, which is fairly tragic. Land? Okay, not land, but it's fine. We've got a good clock. Now I have a decision to make. I think I let it resolve. Because if they equip, they definitely don't have the mana to then recast Batterskull. Oh, this feels mopey though. I'm going to just try and bolt it instead. Should probably be enough. We do only have 7 points though, so maybe not. Oh, they've got the mana for the Battle Skull. Never mind. Things have just gotten tough. Well, actually, like a fetch land, just fine. It's not fine. Gonna get a fetch. I cannot get a fetch. Now I just have to pass. God, Battle Skull is so freaking good. And now that's too big to sinkhole, and everything is spiraling out of control. And I am sad. Trade this for literally anything. Anything at all. Okay. Well, lands are always welcome. I'm going to have to do something like block with a Snapcaster and then sinkhole the Germ and then try to mana leak the Battle Skull if they recast it. This is an awkward freaking game. Battle Skull is so good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. So we might get them. Probably not, but we might. Something. It's not great. Goif's pretty great. Their life total got padded so much by all those shenanigans. Okay. Opt is fine. Yep, no surprise. Just hope they don't replay a land before they cast it. They did, fuck. This buys me a lot of time. They let it go. Wow. It's probably right, but still annoying. Okay, so I need a Snapcaster or something, or some way to get that Germ dead, which I don't think I have. Oh, a Jace maybe. Ren. Ren isn't great. Jace would be fantastic. Wouldn't it? Says the opponent. You sure you don't want to bounce my Snappy? It's the only blocker. they've got a real decision to make about what to attack now as well. Okay. Oh, can I kill them? Yes. That's how you top deck, kids. That was tremendously skillful of me to draw Cryptic Command when I needed Cryptic Command. I imagine Ancient Grudge is good. Narset. Pierce. Probably not Reveler. I can make a case for it, I guess, if we're just kind of going big and trading blows, as it were. Probably only want one Cryptic. Ooh! Very angry opponent. Didn't like my top deck. Well, there we go. You gifted a win. Onwards to round 4. I've been fortunate enough never to encounter it, but I've seen lots of social media posts and stuff about when you're testing a rogue deck in the competitive leagues on Modo, you get people saying things like, in the chat, saying things like, "Oh, this isn't a real deck. You're wasting my time." Blah, blah, blah. Maybe that opponent was one of them. Although it's questionable whether Stoneblade is even a real deck at this point, as much as I love it. I think Bant Snowblade is a real deck. Or at least it was when Oko existed. It probably still is. Quattle and Noble Hierarch and Veil of Summer, and there's probably other reasons to be green I'm forgetting. I don't remember if they played Goyfs or anything, but Storm Guy is me. I wonder if we're playing against Storm. This hand is good. This looks like Storm. The opponent's name is fairly unsubtle, shall we say. So this tells me that I have to hold up Bolt. So I can't Astrolabe because I have to try and bolt the Boral if they have one. And then keep up Mana Leak pretty much for all time. Yeah, well, it's not a Boral, is it? But it's the same difference. Yeah, we just got to pass. I need to try to maximise the mana leak. When you're playing against Storm, you want to try to not just like go for the first thing. You want to try to, if possible, get more than one card with your counterspell, if that makes any sense. Although in this case, I'm just going to trade for the one card because I'm scared of Boral, which I would say is valid. Does mean I'm pretty defenseless, but they usually need a cost reducer. That's a good one. Just get that down as a really good clock and keep Bolt up so I can try to interact. it's by no means impossible for them to go off without a cost reducer, but it's harder. I also don't think they can go off at instant speed, so we can pick a fight now in their end step quite comfortably. And we're taking an absolute beating from our mana base. I wonder if they're going to ritual out a gifts or something. They've got something because they paused then. Remand, okay, suits me. I'll gladly bolt it again now. The problem is they now know they're pretty much green lit, so can you kill me, opponent? Probably not immediately. So I have to put 2 cards into their hand and 2 into their graveyard. I'm sure you probably know how Gift Storm works, but if you don't, they usually search for 2 rituals, a Manamorphose and a Past in Flames, with the idea being that it's very hard for them to fail to go off from that point, regardless of which 2 you give them. So my intention is to put 2 cards into the graveyard. Sure, I'll put Morphose and Past into the graveyard and just give them mana and hope that they are short on cards and long on mana, and then I can try and fight over. Oh shit, I just missed my combat step. Fuck. Oh, I need to get my head out my arse. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. That's really bad. So I'm almost certainly just dead. But I'm going to operate under the assumption it's worth pretending the game is carrying on. Yeah, I really blew that. When did they fall to 11? I missed them being at 11. Yeah, this is the end. The end is nigh. So, for those unaware, they use Past in Flames to give their whole graveyard flashback. They functionally have 20 or 30 mana at that point, and they can gifts for a pile that means they always will have access to Grape Shot. They get like Noxious Revival, Manamorphose, Grape Shot, and something else. I can't remember. So it's trivially easy for them to win from here. We just have to make them go through it all. The good news is post side we've got Narsets and Spell Pierces and Surgicals, all of which are brilliant. We can side out all of our expensive shit, like Jaces and Cryptics, because they're just not... Like, the way Storm operates is that everything matters over the first, say, 4 turns. I mean, this is turn 6, but we've interacted a lot. So we can't win from there. So Ooze is really good. Spell Pierce and Narset and Surgical are all great. And probably an Anger for an Empty the Warrens in case it gets to that point. And then all the expensive shit can go away. And that leaves me with 3 cuts, which are probably like Wrens. Keep the Goyfs because they represent a good clock. I would love to play first. This hand sucks. This hand's great. Putting back Snapcaster Mage. Anger isn't what you really want to draw because there's so they have an extra win condition called Empty the Warrens, which makes tokens, which is the only scenario in which I think you're likely to need Anger. So we've drawn a Spell Snare. I think I want all of these. In this order. So the dream is that we get to Spell Snare a Baral and then untap and play a Narset. We do not. So we're not going to... I don't think we're just going to run out Narset. I think we're going to hold up Counter Magic. Also Narset, if we play and activate Narset, we wouldn't get that Coatl, and I do quite want the Coatl. Although I guess to close the game out, really, we just want a... we just want the Tarmogoyf, don't we? Nice big body. Just pass the turn. Interesting, they're playing with a lot of patience, but I suppose the way we're playing looks shady. As in, it looks like we've got something, which is true, we do. There's no point in tapping out for Narset, I don't think. Because it only takes 1 remand to blow it up, to like kill that for us. Okay, Spell Pierce is good. Spell Snare is good. Everything's lining up. So we leak the remand because we don't want them to draw cards. And we just kind of win that stack. We missed, that's really upsetting. Debatable whether I should have even minused her because there's a chance they'll have sided in bolts, but who can say? We've got Scred if they go for a creature. Narset's really good because quite a lot of their setup is like Serum Visions and Manamorphose, and it shuts all of that down. That's fine. Okay. I by no means think we're winning this game, by the way. The opponent's got so many cards. It's kind of proving tough to keep up. Especially when Narset misses. Like, if Narset had found a Spell Pierce or something, I'd be feeling a lot safer. Or a Surgical, maybe. So... now I'm going to put all of the mana into the graveyard and give them Mana Morphos and Past in Flames. Oops. So their hand is that plus a Mana Morphos. We really want a Surgical. I'm going to minus Narset and look for a Surgical, basically. Serum, I guess, is good because we can draw into whatever we scry. Bottom. If it isn't obvious, I just really want a Surgical. There we go. Target the... oh, the Past in Flames is in their hand. Fuck. Can target gifts. That's probably the next best. So their hand is a Past in Flames, a Ritual, and 3 Mana Morphos. It's not too bad. Because they don't have any win conditions. Yeah, this is their only reasonable time to cast Mana Morphos because it's the only time they can draw a card. Very well played by opponent. Goif is great. Might give us a chance to close the game in a decent time. Come on, blue spell. That's good. So we can... just trying to think. Oh, I missed a gift. There's a freaking gift still in their graveyard. How did I do that? But snap's good because we can snap for... okay, they won't get to draw now. We can snap for Spell Snare, Spell Pierce, or Surgical, all of which are great. And we have a clock now with the Goif. Right, that shock tells me they're doing something. Oh. Have to let that go. So their hand is 1 Mana Morphos and a Past in Flames. All they can currently do is mana, except for the gifts. So now I just have to, rather embarrassingly, cast Surgical on the same target again, because I missed one before. So this is a bit embarrassing, but c'est la vie. Okay. I forgot to check whether they boarded and empty the warrens or not, but it doesn't matter. Like, they've just spunked all their resources on nothing. Yeah, but you can't draw, opponent. You're just scrying. I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm very confused. I think, other than missing the first gifts, I think I've navigated okay. And by missing it, I don't mean, like, I mean missing dealing with it. You know what I mean? You probably know what I mean. They have to Manamorphose now. Ah, so they're dead. No, they're not. They've got one draw. Okay. They should scoop to Scred. What's going on here? Ah. I forgot that had flashback. So they can recast, like, one sleight of hand, which is probably the best they can do. It does leave them dead, though, so... Yeah. Okay. So I made a meal of it. we got there. Just resubmit. It's a really good configuration for this matchup. That's a good hand. I was going to say I need a stonking hand to compete on the draw. But this is a stonking hand, so it's a fun Serum Visions. And by fun, I mean I haven't seen the picture before. I still like this one. I tend to buy the oldest printing of cards just for whatever reason. The ability to fetch multiple green sources is good as well, because ooze is usually like the best thing you can have in these matchups. That resolves. Fuck, Scred doesn't kill it. In my head, Scred was just going to deal with that. But now I have to fetch, like... Snow Forest, I guess. Which is bad. Oh, shit. I'm sure I am... I can kill it. Okay. Astrolabe's a fine draw, actually. I need to stop panicking. It pretty much saves me, because I can filter this into red and then Scred for 3. And if they have one of their great draws, they just can go off from this position. They do not. Okay. I'm going to kill that, and I'm going to play Scavenging Ooze, and I'm going to cross my fingers. And if I get to untap, Scavenging Ooze is going to win this game on its own, because that's what it does against Storm. It's so good. They're so reliant on their graveyard. Yeah, this is great. I would love a land, obviously, but them missing land drops and me having removal after removal is good. And I guess the first time they don't play a creature out, I can just start eating their graveyard and casting Spell Pierce and stuff and feel safe. Good lord. Okay, well, that's quite a thing. Mana leak. Goif doesn't matter anymore. That really matters. So I can draw it from the Quettle. And then kill it. And then get in for 4. I bet the opponent's getting pissed off. I hope. The reason I'm not activating Ooze much, having said how important it is that the creatures are even more important and they just need to die. And there's not anything that juicy in their graveyard. So I'm going to eat 1 creature because it doubles my clock. As in it goes down to 2 turns, it's 6 points and they're on 12. And then I'm going to sit here with Spell Pierce and Mana Leak and feel like I can't lose. I'm not sure how true that is. I think it's fairly true. Yeah. Nice. So we're 4-0. Can you believe it? We've got an outside chance of a trophy with just a beautiful pile of cards I like. I am enjoying casting all my greatest hits, as if I'm the only person that likes Snap, Goif, and Bolt, like the 3 most iconic modern cards. It makes me sad that Snap and Goif and Bolt haven't been good for the last year, because you just have to be doing Mox Opaly things. But 2019 is in the past now. We don't have... Oh, if you lived in Britain and were a Magic player in 2019, it was dark. Because, like, Magic sucked. Politics sucked. The rift between the two prevailing opinions in this country is quite aggressive at this point. And if you're pro-Brexit or pro-Europe and you end up discussing it with someone who isn't, you could, like, it gets really heated. And that was all there was on the radio every day, was just how the country was in economical ruins, and then Australia caught on fire, and then the world was dying and burning, and everything was sad. I'm quite glad, because Tarmogoyf is just like a big comfort blanket that makes 2019 go away. Yeah, if you're wondering how to play against Storm, basically, if you can kill a cost reducer, you should, is my rule. And letting them untap with them is almost always wrong. If you've got a removal spell. Apart from that, my other rule of trying to play against Storm is sometimes they'll do lines like ritual into gifts, in which case you have to let the ritual resolve and counter the gifts, because it's just, you're trading up, you're trading 1 card for 2. And might sound obvious, but people who are inexperienced, they just see a situation where they think their counterspell can resolve, panic, cast it, and they probably will win the counter war, but the opponent's still got the gifts in hand, whereas you get more equity by waiting. I'm fortunate enough that a lot of... Actually, not so much right now, but in the past, lots of Storm players lived in Oxford, including some good ones. And I got to practice against it a lot. Cool, we got our last match. Have a good hand. It's not super exciting, but it's pretty good. Do you know what I haven't seen for ages is Devoted Druid. Like the combo version. I guess this is Jund. Take my lightning bolt, make me sad. We should be fine against Jund. It's just a resource war, and Ren and Six and Jace are both a lot of resources. They took my bolt. I'm fetching first because I want to be able to draw the cards I scry. I will happily draw modern all-stars in a row. That's fine. If my consecutive draw steps are goif, goif, snap, I'm a happy boy. Okay. So my options are to kill that with Magmatic Sinkhole or to just play a Tarmogoyf. I think my plan is to play a Tarmogoyf. So this is young Mardu Pyromancer for those who haven't seen it before. It's a Mardu coloured control deck. It's not Jund, I don't think. So typically it plays like... That's fine. Typically it plays 8 pieces of hand disruption and... loads of removal, and then the threats tend to be Young Pyromancer and Seasoned Pyromancer and a load of 1/1 tokens, and very occasionally they will also play some amount of Bedlam Revelers. In the past it used to be mostly Bedlam Revelers, like 4 of, but haven't seen that version recently. Return it, make me discard. Sure, I'll discard this. That's fine. Mana Leak, I like that. So we can use Goif to lock down the ground, we can Mana Leak Pyro, and hopefully they don't have an answer to the Goif in hand. I'm not sure this is correct to hurt myself, but I wanted, because we haven't drawn an Astrolabe, I wanted to make sure I had good mana. Snap Mana Leak is going to be good next turn, because they're not very good at what am I trying to say? They're not very good at producing threatening stuff at instant speed. In other words, if I can represent 1 counter spell per turn, we'll be okay. Like this. Oops. I don't think I want to trade. I'm going to leave the Misty in case I draw a Jace. Serum is really good, but it makes me want to use the Misty now. I get my Steam Vents. Tapped. Come on, Ren and 6. These are great. Can even draw and play my Coatl at the end of the turn. Fine, I'll trade. Means I'm getting in for 4. Let's see what they've got. The fact they keep missing land drops implies that their hand is all lands, which is a little bit scary. Sorry, all non-lands, I should say, all spells. It's worth noting that Seasoned Pyromancer is red-red, And obviously their mana doesn't allow for that at the moment, so it's possible they've got a couple of those in hand. So Lingering Souls. Okay. So they are just doing that to put a Smiting Helix in the yard, I guess. Trying to burn me out, it seems. But we should be alright. I don't know. It's too early to say, isn't it? But we've got 3-turn clock. We've got an answer to one creature. They can flash back the Helix to kill my Coatl or something. This looks to me like a Seasoned Pyromancer, and they've just been desperate for more red. A Bedlam Reveler, you say? That's not terrible. That's actually very good. Thoughtseize, I think, is fine. Don't really care which they take, they're very similar. They've almost no spells for just one white, though. They took the Bolt. At the moment, Skred is not big enough to kill Bedlam Reveler. Now it is, which is good. This is an interesting matchup. There's a lot of... Hey, it's unfortunate that they took our Bolt away. But then again, then we wouldn't have a Skred, so... I don't know. Yeah, this is a fun matchup. A lot of swingy plays back and forth. This is kind of what I want Modern to be, is just like a kind of super powerful, fair format. They put themselves to 4 against a 4-power Goyf. Okay, that makes sense. This is a true top deck war. I have to cast this now because I might draw something sorcery speed that I want to play out. It's fine, it's better than discarding it. And then I've got to decide between putting them to 3 versus trying to keep Liliana in check. And I think putting them to 3 is better. I've got quite a lot of... I've got 1 snap left and 3 bolts, and then loads of stuff that cantrips. Okay, never mind. They discarded their Blood Moon. I'm not going to fetch because that takes a whole turn off their clock. That's a boring draw. It's also a boring draw. Hut. So we're probably losing now. Kind of tough to say. Yeah, that's going to almost certainly do it. There's no, well, yeah, there's no point in me giving up just yet because I've got cards in my deck like Cryptic Command and Jace that can just win the game. So I just need to have a good top deck. That's not it. So, Scavenging Ooze is good. Angers are good. Narsets might be good. So it's good against Reveler and Seasoned Pyromancer. Not good against anything else. Spell Pierce is another consideration. And then Bedlam Revel is another consideration. So these are like maybes. That would put me up to 69 though, which is just a stupid number. Blood Moons are bad. They are a Blood Moon deck. I like nearly everything else. If I'm taking my Blood Moons out, maybe I can trim on Astrolabes. I'm just going to submit like this. Like, I like having one Sinkhole to try and kill Revelers and stuff. This hand is fine. Ooze is great, if that isn't already obvious. And removal's great. I'm going to use Serum Visions to try and make sure I can just keep hitting my land drops. We want to hit like first 5 or 6. And we want some green ones too to... well, that's pretty much everything I asked for. It's 2 lands, one of which is green. So I can hopefully do some ooze gobbling. Although, there's every chance we get Thought Seized. Possibly not. I'm just going to pass, hold up Bolt for their young Pyromancer, and then try to get some value out of this ooze. Because I think if they've kept that hand, there's every chance that that they did have a 1-drop, but it's a removal spell. Like thinking I might play a Goyf or something. And I really want to get something out of this ooze. Okay, fine. Oops. I hope I didn't just yield through the whole turn, because I might want to use my fetch. They took the ooze, which is predictable. I'm going to get a Steam Vents. Just going to Serum Visions again. The nice thing about this is they will almost certainly use a Fatal Push or something on my snap. And it's going to cantrip as well, so it's drawing me cards, taking cards out of their hand. Second Anger is bad. Astrolabe on top is good. Means I can finally cast the Angers. If they start doing their go wide tokeny things. I've not seen any Lingering Souls. I swear this deck used to play loads of Lingering Souls. It certainly did. So I played it about 2 years ago when... was it 2 years ago? It was a while ago. When Jerry Thompson did Pro Tour Rivals of Ixalan. And he top 8'd with it. Shortly after that I built it. Jace, nice. Guess I'll just kill this now. So, yeah, I was playing it in the past, so things have changed. Smiting Helix didn't exist, Plague Engine didn't exist, Seasoned Pyromancer didn't exist, so a lot of the deck is updated. Okay, So that just trades for an Anger of the Gods. Oh, a Lingering Souls. So I'm going to play the Tarmogoyf, because it should hold up the ground pretty well. And I'm going to try and get a bit greedy with the Anger and try and kill some spirit tokens too. It's comforting to see that Lingering Souls is good enough for Modern again, because that card is ridiculously good. And it not seeing much play made me sad. I'm also hoping opponents miss that I've got double red, because I don't have 2 red lands. They might play into it a bit. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. What's opponent tanking on? They shouldn't really have anything to think about. They've tapped out, right? Maybe they haven't played a land. A fetch land would be good, actually. I think I just bottomed one, which was probably incorrect. A fetch land would be good because it would let me shuffle away my extra Anger that I don't think I'm going to need. Yep. Never mind, I do need it. This is going to be great. GG. It's tough to come back from that without a Bedlam Reveler, but I suppose they might just literally play a Reveler now. Okay. Lingering Souls is also really good. It's a lot of tokens. It'll be fine. We'll be fine. Scred. So I just want to get the token numbers low enough that I can play and protect Jace, basically. So if I trade both Scred, both my red spells, and my Coatl for 3 of their spirits, it might look really bad, but then it's super hard to beat the Jace from their point of view. So kill that. Make a red. Kill this. Obviously this looks super like wasteful, but I think being able to play a Jace and then untap with it is worth it. No. Oh god. That's a good draw. At least I didn't get any tokens, but still. Goif. Extra Coatl is fine as well. So yeah, we're sort of jockeying for position, I suppose. That's a good one. I'm just targeting that. It's fine. We really need a Snapcaster Mage though. kill that. And kill this. I think we're finally at a point now where I can cast Jace. The fetch land's nice as well. They've got a smiting helix in the yard, so that was probably wrong. Just put these back, cast the Goyf, and hope that it's good. I'm down to 9 though. Cryptic. Yeah, this is close. I'm not sure I've played this game very well. Jace down. So they cast that from hand because they've a reason to empty their hand, like a Bedlam Reveler. No, they're just trying to kill me. Fair enough. So the Smiting Helix means I can never go below 3. Or at least I shouldn't. It's unwise to. Extra Snapcaster is very welcome, as is Ren. So I can draw into Ren now and ping 1 token. That's probably worth doing. Okay, you got me. So they're trying pretty hard to save that Smiting Helix from my face, it seems. Goyf is a 6, that's nice. Oh, hang on. Oh, it's a sorcery, okay. So they can't Helix me. I was worried I'd just F6'd and was going to take damage. They've got a Pyromancer to make tokens, okay. They know my last card is Cryptic. So everyone has all the information. We know about their Smiting Helix. And that's targeting Ren, so if I go tap draw, sorry, tap counter, blue, blah, blah, blah. That's good for me, I'd say. Oh, yes. Let's get aggressive. Having Snap Cryptic makes me feel really safe. Yeah, because I can just trade off in combat. They're all at Ren, so I'm just going to snap and bolt, I guess. Maybe this deck needs 1 Electrolyze. I love 1 Electrolyze. Ren seems too good to give up because we've got the Fiery Islet, so we're just drawing 2 cards a turn. Good. Well, not good actually. They've got so much mana. It's probably rubbish. But they're dead next turn. We've got a Scred and a mana leak. Could be worse. Cool. Game 3 for all of the marbles. Oh, I'm wondering if I want Surgical for some... I hate Surgical, it's a shit card. Oh, is it worth it though? It's probably better than Astrolabes. Can go after... If I Surgical like Lingering Souls and Seasoned Pyro or something that has value in the graveyard, I won't feel too stupid. This hand is bad. This hand is good. They kept a 7. They're on the play. That's a lot to consider. It's a great draw because it means I don't have to fetch a snow basic to kill a turn 2 pyro. Can fetch like a stomping ground, I guess, is probably what I most want to fetch. Have they got it? Alright. They're not escalating to discard a Lingering Souls or anything, so it's just a 2 mana duress. They took my Serum, which is fine. We're just going to try to Coatl and have access to removal if we need it. Once again, I'm behind on the clock, so I need to keep that in mind. Sure. Discard Scred. I don't think this is particularly good for them because I can kill it anyway. So it just trades like a card in my hand, 2 cards in my hand for 2 cards in their hand. And you often get more than that out of Planeswalkers. So I'm going to get the Stomping Ground. I'm going to cast this. And then next turn I'm going to attack that for 1 and bolt it. Breeding Pool seems great. Snap's also great. Let's see what they've got. Lingering Souls, okay. There are definitely worse Magic cards. Gonna cast Serum. Ooh. These are all very exciting. Now I'm going to Surgical Lingering Souls. Yeah, this is quite good because that represents killing 2 tokens and then making their life significantly worse. So their hand is a Kaya's Guile and a Bedlam Reveler, and for some reason that doesn't enter the revealed card zone specifically. A unique trait for my good friend Surgical Extraction. They're very far off casting the Reveler, and Kaya's Guile doesn't seem amazing here. doesn't seem very good. I guess they're just trying to kill me, which is valid. So my hand, the top deck is another snap, right? Yeah. Attack. Can start picking off their tokens with snapping burn spells and producing a decent clock that way. Thought about snapping the surgical on the smiting helix as well, but I don't know if that's any good. I'm going to just snap bolt or snap scred. Probably scred. 1 token. This is why we had to get rid of Lingering Souls, is because it's such a pain in the ass dealing with these tokens. It's Kaya's Guile to kill my graveyard, I guess. Happily trade off if they'll take the trade. They will. So we can use Cryptic to manage things. For example, they can cast Reveler now. Take 2. They didn't fancy it. I'm a bit worried about my life total because I'm taking more damage off the land here. Oh shit! Misclicked. That's horrendous. This was meant to kill a token. Oh, don't decide the league with a misclick. Because this game was in the balance. Just Stone Rained myself. Opponent's probably thinking, what on earth is he doing? This is the most next level weird play I've ever seen. It's not next level at all, it's just bad. Goif. I just hope to get to Mana Leak a freaking Reveler. I'm very aware that that Smiting Helix is there purely to kill me off. It's clearly the opponent's goal, and these 2 plus that puts me on 4. So it's a bit squeaky at that point, isn't it? Could have Mana Leaked that might have been wrong. Yeah, I think this one's slipping away. I need to make sure I don't take any unnecessary damage. So we're now at like Anger of the Gods or Bust sort of territory. Okay. Mana Leak on there is slightly comforting, but we're dead to 2 attacks in the air. I really, really need Anger of the Gods. Although it would be amazing because it would also keep my Goif alive. And their last card is Bedlam Reveler, which is a really good last card. Yeah, we're dying. I think, yeah, basically if they attack with their flyers, we've lost. sure. I assume they just right-click attack all. Yeah. I'm not sure how much that horrible misclick mattered, but all in all, still a fine result. The deck is still great. And yeah, what can I say? The deck is great. Look at it. Look how beautiful it is. Look at all these good, fair cards. That's what Magic should be all about. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the league, and I would urge you to play $1 Million Temur. See you next time.